The following podcast may contain spoilers, strong language, graphic violence, and nudity. Viewer discretion is advised. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Wasn't even in the movie, doesn't matter.
Four guys and a movie. Four guys and a movie. Donnie, Brian, Rob, and Joe reviewing movies for the show. Four guys and a movie.
Hello everyone, it's 4am once again, and that means it's time for the 4am podcast, where me and my friends watch movies from our past and see how they hold up to our older, more cynical selves. I'm your host as always, Tony. Joining me today is...
Brian.
And...
We're not paying for this. Keep going.
No, I'm not finished.
They probably won't even show up.
I'm Jet Jaguar.
Like literally the
Oh, I know.
the levels on the
It'll be great. Don't worry about it. I hate you so much. Alright, so...
That would have changed this movie quite a bit.
Jet Jaguar showed up.
if the Ford fuckface kid just grew to the giant size.
If the what?
Ford fuckface kid just grew.
See how we did Godzilla. Wait,
Oh, sorry.
what are you talking about? Hold on. Okay. Yeah, which Godzilla did we do?
2014.
Oh, not the one with Matthew Broderick.
No, that'll be a special episode. A more special
A
episode.
very special episode. The most special episode of
Tony,
all.
what's wrong, Tony?
You alright? Mm-hmm. So the king will rise. You need me to play the song again? Oh, please do. You got it queued up? You ready? I don't know. I'm going to try and sing.
Can I be Ultraman if you're going to be Jet Jaguar?
Sure. Okay, so it's directed by Garth Edwards, who also directed Monsters from 2010 and Rogue One, a Star Wars story from 2016. Party on. And that's about it. This was literally the second big movie release, and he got Godzilla. And his third one was Star Wars, so good for him, even if they butchered it. Money? He's obviously making some good money.
Rogue One?
It's not. No.
Don't even want to get into it. Don't even want to get into it.
No, it's not even about my personal opinion on it. It's his original script got chopped up quite a bit.
Ah, okay.
But not as bad as like Fantastic Four or something. Or I'm sorry, Fan Four Stick. But that's neither here nor there.
I should have gotten chopped up by a paper shredder and thrown in the trash.
Perhaps. But so what's your personal history with this movie, Rob?
I saw it. Okay, why did you go with me?
That's what he does. That's what he does.
That's how I get you guys back.
Well, you're not punishing me. You're punishing our audience by making them listen to me chew. So I saw this in the theater, so I'm a huge Godzilla fan. And I have seen it a few times since.
Okay. Brian?
I've never seen this.
No.
First time.
Yeah, I saw this myself in the theater. I might have seen it once since then, but not too often. I am a fan of Godzilla, but I don't know, this one I didn't feel a whole lot of need to repeat it.
Joe, how about you, Joe?
Yeah, Joe, what did you think about this movie?
Yeah, you diarrhea smelling loser.
We're not here? Okay.
All right. Glad we addressed that.
Let's talk about this empty chair.
Do we really need to?
I'm Clint Westwood. I don't know. Please move on.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Would it be Flint Westwood?
It could be.
All right, so
I'm severely dehydrated.
Well, all the actors and actresses in this movie were Garth's first choice. Sorry, Mr. Edwards' first choice, I should say. They were. Say it right, wrong, whatever. It's up to you. Well, here's other options they almost went with. For the lead role of Ford Brody.
Not Bryan Cranston.
No, we almost had Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Henry Cavill, Scoot McNairy.
What? Is that a real person?
That is. Or Caleb Landry.
Is that a real person?
And they are both real people.
Okay.
Wow. All right. And for the role of the lead female as Mrs. Ford.
Non-existent?
Yeah.
Mary Kate Olsen. Ashley Olsen. Caitlin Olsen.
Wow. Just Sweet D.
She was going to play one of the Mutos.
You know what?
The Big Bird?
Might as well. No, but they almost went with Hilary Duff.
Sure.
Jennifer Lawrence, Margot Robbie, Emily Clark, or Emily Rossum, which I can't even, like... One of those names certainly sticks out to me like a sore thumb for this.
I don't know who either of those people are.
Okay. The Mother of All Dragons, or Bulma from a terrible, terrible version of DBZ, the movie.
Wait, she was Bulma in that movie?
Emily Rossum, yeah.
Wait.
All right.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the same person. Oh, okay. And it's not the Mother of Dragons. It's the girlfriend of pretend Han Solo.
Right.
I'm sorry, baby Han Solo.
All right. Guillermo del Toro was also considered for directing this movie, but he was busy with Pacific Rim at the time.
Interesting.
Yep, it is interesting.
The skydiving sequence, which was a big part of this movie, was actually all real footage. They actually had a bunch of skydivers jump out of a plane, like professional photographers and everything, and that did all their own stunts and whatnot.
The weather around them and everything.
Oh, yeah. Everything they encounter is all CGI.
Okay, cool. Because I was like, that doesn't make no sense. It was cool. It was cool effect.
Yeah.
And according to Bryan Cranston himself, while the film does not immediately show the Beast, it does a good job of building up to his appearance and keeps it very clever and terrifying in its off-screen presence, and is very much inspired by Jaws, which, of course, waited quite a while to show that.
Godzilla.
Yeah. I mean, I can agree with what he said, but that's not Godzilla, though.
We'll get into it. And the sound designers, and I give them a lot of credit for this, got a 20-foot high and 18-foot wide speaker that was 100,000 watts just to blast Godzilla's vocals through to see how much power that would actually be.
Okay.
So like when they show like all the things blowing in the wind, they actually know that's how much it would mess everything up.
All right.
So that's pretty cool. Anyone want to guess at the budget this movie had?
$50 million.
I'm going to say $150 million.
Joe?
Me. Fart. I'm raking them over the coals this week.
Well, Joe wins, who was $160 million.
160?
Mm-hmm.
I think I got the closest without going over.
No, Joe's got you up by $1. It was close.
Joe, you piece of shit.
Yeah. You gotta watch those beeps, man. So, anyone want to guess at how much money this movie made?
$150 million.
I'm going to say $400 million.
Joe?
$5. Fart.
All right, well, that one was a bit more clear, but so I'm going to have to give this one to Rob. It was $529 million.
Wow, it did that well. I didn't realize it did that well.
Oh, yeah, it did.
America was ready for Godzilla again.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were all sitting on rooftops.
Were they watching this movie, though?
Huh?
Were they watching this movie, though?
It was before the movie came out.
Oh, okay.
They were all standing on our rooftops going, here, lizard.
All right, but
I got Taco Bell and preparation.
who was in this movie, Brian?
So we got Kick-Ass, Aaron Taylor Johnson as Ford Bradley, Ken Watanabe
Nabi.
He's not that knobby. Come on.
Oh, that's the I at the end?
Sure.
It's an
Okay.
E, but
All right.
it's pronounced
Dr. Ichiro,
Japanese guy.
Surasawa? Is that his name?
Sure. Yes.
Dr.
Okay.
Japan.
Yeah.
I'm not going to screw up this.
Only Japanese guy in the movie that has lines. Even though the first half of it is set in Japan. But anyway, Elizabeth Olsen as Elle Brody, she's non-existent, doesn't matter.
She kind of exists.
Sally Hawkins as lady in the background.
Who? What? What?
Vivian Graham. Yeah,
Why are we still listening, people?
Yeah,
The woman that followed around. All right,
doesn't matter.
you can stop then. But, those are people
Bryan
that were in
Cranston
it.
as Joe Bradley.
All right.
For 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And Godzilla as
No.
himself for 5 minutes.
No, fuck that. Fuck that, because the previews for this movie made me think Bryan Cranston was the star of this fucking movie.
Yeah.
And he's not even fucking in it for more than 5 minutes.
Yep.
Fuck that.
The previews for Scream also made you think that Drew Barrymore was going to have a big part.
I mean,
Spoiler alert.
the boobs almost came out.
Okay. Also, fun side note, Bryan Cranston, famous for playing Walter White on Breaking Bad, which that role almost went to another Godzilla star. Want to guess which one?
Ken Watanabe.
Nope.
The Aaron guy.
Nope.
Gary Chalk. Godzilla.
Frank Walker.
Matthew Broderick.
Wow.
That's
a different movie, though.
That'd be a different show.
Different Godzilla, but yeah. And that would have been a very
Different
different Breaking Bad. It probably would not have been nearly as popular. I cannot see him saying, like, say my name or anything like that.
How would
I'm
it
the
sound?
man that knocks.
How would that sound,
I
Rob?
don't know. Brian.
Rob, can you say I'm the one that knocks?
I've never
Can't
seen.
now.
I didn't watch that show, so I have no reference of what you guys talking about. But
Jesse, it's time to cook.
All right. So,
Gonna spend a whole hour-long episode chasing a fly. That'll be fun.
I'm in my boxers. I don't understand. All right.
That's a lot of crystal meth.
It's one big pile. Or no, that's
That's
different.
That
Well,
is
it is one big pile of
incorrect,
shit.
sir.
It is one big pile of shit. But yeah, I'm confusing my lines here. Anyway,
I never saw the show, so I don't know.
at that point I was quoting Jurassic Park, so don't worry about it.
Oh,
He had mixed Matthew Broderick up with a true thespian of the silver screen,
No, well, first of all,
One
it's not
Jeff-
entirely true.
Goldblum.
Wow. If you can't tell in this episode, we are all drunk.
So drunk.
But anyway, it's not all true. So this movie, we start out with some old footage. We got some explosions and newsreels or whatever.
Yeah, it's
it looks
kind
like
of...
how Kong started. Kong Skull Island started.
Yeah,
It
it does.
is.
And honestly, it looks a little bit like the 1998 Godzilla started.
Yes, it does.
Just old footage of nuclear testing. But this time, it was not in fact testing. It was old military footage of actual trying to kill Godzilla.
Yeah, no iguanas here. Just we're straight up bombing at something in the water. And then we cut to a group that found some old fossils. It turns out they're walking inside a giant rib cage or something.
That's why I don't give a fuck. I didn't care. Like, I didn't understand. Like, so they're in this cavern, and one of the guys goes like, "Look at these stalagmites or stalactites or whatever," and it's like, motherfucker, it's a rib cage. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like,
Right, I think you were just on edge to begin with because he said, "Are these fossils?"
I thought he said stalagmites.
Nope.
Yeah.
He did say, yeah, are these fossils? Although that is kind of stupid because, like, it's clear to all of us this is a giant rib cage.
Oh yeah,
Like,
it was obvious, and it was still a stupid question.
You're a scientist.
But yeah, they were what, in the Philippines? I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
They said they were. So yeah, it's like this. They're inside this huge rib cage, and there's like also in this big cave these two like cocoons.
It's got crabs.
Yeah, one of the cocoons is exploded, like something hatched from it,
Mhm.
and they pan out to show this huge hole in the ground, and then like this big path it's been carved through.
And immediately here now, we're going to start our counter of how the hell did you miss this? Because giant
Oh my
things
God.
are just sneaking past everybody.
This whole movie.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean,
It's not as bad.
We shouldn't make too many comparisons, but this is borderline Matthew
It's
Broderick
not as
Godzilla.
it's not as bad as Godzilla is hiding in New York and we can't find him.
It's not, but it's close. It's close because I mean, you could argue
that Godzilla
but
was hiding inside buildings.
I know, I understand, but like this is the same problem of this is a giant monster that's like the ground would tremble when it moves. There's no way it's like we should have seen it like take its little shoes off and carry them as it tiptoes cartoon style through the forest.
It's just got like a bush in front of its head.
Yes.
Come on. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. Like picture a 100-foot monster that is like wearing a cardboard box like Solid Snake. Just like don't notice me.
Ken Watanabe's like, bring.
Yeah. But yeah, so we cut to this family. They're the Ford family.
Ford Focus family of cars.
Yes, the Ford Focus family. They're out in Japan, correct?
Does anyone know a Ford? Does anyone know anyone named Ford? Like, really? I'm sorry.
I know the one who made the car.
My first name Ford.
First
Anyone
name Ford?
really?
Oh, first name Ford. No. Well, Ford Fairlane. Right, that's
Is a fictional character, yes.
he is. But
I mean, Ford Prefect, also a fictional character. No.
Okay. Sorry.
all right.
Listen, they just wanted a little piece of America back in old Japan.
I guess
They named their child Ford.
they just really wanted to make it clear he is American. I don't care how long he's going to be in your country.
Like,
He
really?
is American.
Yeah, like his middle name is Hot Dog.
Last name gun violence.
Ford hot dog apple pie gun violence. Whatever.
Walmart.
Brody.
Walmart Brody. So
What they call him firework for short.
So the Brody family is living in Japan. Father Brody.
Again, by the way, Jaws.
Obviously. So what's his first?
Joe.
Joe Brody.
Joe Bradley.
Brody.
Brody. Sorry, Brody. Joe Brody.
That's too hard. Joe.
American Joe.
Yeah, I just don't want the word Joe to come out of my mouth this episode as too many times because it makes me sick every time.
Oh, okay.
Anyways,
Wow.
Don't worry. We won't be in it long.
it's true. So Joe Brody is
Spoiler alert.
like safety head or something, like safety engine. I don't know what exactly his role is, but he works at this power plant
Yeah.
with his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets a call that there's weird readings, and he's been following these readings for a long time. They're growing in intensity, and he wants to do an inspection. So he's going to send a team down there, including his wife, to figure out what's causing these strange anomalies.
Yeah.
So we get there, and
Shit gets crazy real quick.
yeah, he
fast.
sends his wife down in there with her team of Japanese people that don't get to talk, and it's not long.
They're apparently they might not even be real people, as she seems to phase through them multiple times.
Whoever edited the scene.
It could be the Monsters Inc. Human Response Team or whatever they're called. But yeah, it's not long before she's like, "Oh, everything's exploding," and then the whole power plant just starts to crumble.
Yeah, but like they're running down this huge hall for like 5 hours, and like every time we cut to the front shot, she's in front of these other two guys. But then when we cut to the shot from behind, she's behind these two guys. It like every time it switches.
Does it 4 times?
Yeah, it's 4 times.
Like, whoever edited this for real, like,
Well, you said this was like his second movie, right?
It's true. But also, this is why if you're going to build the power plant, don't have your like,
Don't have Homer Simpson watching
well, that too.
with safety.
Don't have your safety doors like every 500 feet. Like maybe try, I don't know, 20 feet or so. She is running for miles.
Well, in any case, she ain't running fast enough.
No.
So turns out Joe's got to slam the airlock and
Watch his wife die.
Yeah, watch his wife die right in front of his face.
He sure does.
Yeah, she told him too because once she got passed by the toxic fumes, she was like, "Let's close the door. We're not gonna make it."
Yep, we're done.
Yeah, they weren't even close. There was no way. But yeah, so that happens, and he barely has time to mourn this when like the whole power plant starts just collapsing. Everybody gets evacuated from the whole island here. He has to grab his kid and get the hell out.
15 years later.
Yep.
Yeah, we cut to 15 years later. The kid's a lot older now.
15 years older, as a matter of fact.
Yeah,
And
with a wife and kid of his own.
He's in the military.
and he's on leave, or he's done, or something. I don't know. He was deployed somewhere.
I think on leave or whatever.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Yeah, so he's home now. And it's not long before he gets a call that his father has been arrested in Japan.
Yep.
So
It's like, damn it, Dad.
yeah, every time.
Yeah. He's kind of like, you know what? I don't even want to bother with it because he's always a problem. But she convinces him, this is your father. It's part of your family. You got to deal with this. So you should go. And he does. And they immediately get themselves in some trouble.
Yeah, so the Brody's father and son, Father Brody, Joe Brody, is like, I'm going into the quarantine zone because
I'm crazy, and they're hiding something. I gotta see it.
yeah, there's all these signals and stuff, and I don't trust what they told me. I don't think it's I don't think it's a radioactive problem. I think we can go in there.
Yeah, everybody's been passing him off as a crackpot because he claims it's there's some conspiracy and it's not what they say it is. But there's obviously more going on with this because he finds out immediately like the place is not irradiated. They got a whole team out there investigating. They are in fact covering something up.
It's like, I left my really super weird hentai manga porn comics at the house, and I need to get them.
I need to burn my computer, like Whistler told me to.
That's right.
I thought that's why the power plant exploded like that. That was Bryan Cranston going, nope, delete.
The power plant exploded because they had that blind girl watching.
That's how the monster's gonna get out so fast.
You know what? That would explain everything in this movie.
Guys, check out our episode on Blade Trinity to understand what the hell we're laughing about, like jackals.
4ampodcast.podbean.com.
That's it.
Old episodes.
All right. So anyway, yeah, we go back to this place. They get arrested. They take him back to where the power plant was. There's a giant thing there now. And he's trying to tell them, like, listen, it's making some kind of noise. It's whatever. It's going in a certain pattern. This is what happened last time. Shit's about to get crazy.
The giant thing that's there is basically the other cocoon that was exploded.
Yeah.
The larva cocooned itself up like a butterfly.
Yeah. And,
Or a moth.
Or big
It's not a
dookie
moth.
bat.
I know, but I know.
We're
like
saving that for the sequel.
It's just
Brian.
like a big cockroach kind
Yeah,
of thing.
it does.
It's more like a cockroach.
Looks like one of them things from
Starship Troopers?
Yeah.
It does a little bit, yeah. What was I going to say? Sorry.
Did he use the bathroom? Diarrhea again?
No, not that. I just lost my voice a little bit.
Oh.
So
From the diarrhea.
from the diarrhea.
Yeah, that's some powerful diarrhea.
It really was. My neck muscles were strained, So they're at this power plant, and he's Cranston's like, "Yo, I've only got like 4 minutes left in this film. You need to listen to me. That thing's making noise. Something's going on here."
It was talking to something.
Yeah, it's chatting it up.
And he found his zip discs from.
I don't think they
Remember
were
those?
zip discs.
Remember those?
Yeah, 100 megabytes,
Yeah,
man.
he found like 4 of those, so he had like a picture on it.
You could fit several pictures because they were super low res at the time.
But so they
All 4 of those, you might be able to fit as many pictures as I have on my phone right now.
the most amazing part of this movie is that they had someone to read those zip discs. and he get the info off of them.
I'm pretty sure they were standard diskettes.
So no, those were zip disks.
Brian would like to have you believe there were zip disks. I'm not convinced.
I think he's right, but
I don't think they were.
I still have floppy disks. Even if it was floppy disks.
yeah.
Good luck finding something to read floppy disks.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's true.
Like, good luck.
I don't know. The military probably has some.
Not true. Sure, they probably still have something.
That's probably what they still work off of.
That's also entirely possible.
But like, and the guy looks. He's like, hey, these do match. Hey, what he's saying is right. Fuck him.
And this big cocoon thing starts hatching, and out comes this giant bug.
Well, like he's like, oh, he's right. These do match, and that means it's going to explode right about now. And just giant bug comes out, destroys this whole area, smashes things up on his way out. Somehow not nearly as quiet as the last time, and it makes its way.
Well, because the first time it was probably like a
caterpillar.
Yeah. It was a worm.
Still.
It was worming around.
Where is it headed now, this first?
So they say that it headed toward this island because of the reactor that was there, because it feeds off radiation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's trying to find a new source of radiation, I guess.
Yeah, which I believe is Hawaii, because there's like nuclear submarines off the coast or something.
Something like that.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so this big giant, it's a bug, but it's got like huge bat wings, and it also drops a crane on Bryan Cranston.
It sure does.
So he's like in a coma for like the next minute and a half, and then he's just dead and out of the movie. So he's dead. Everybody that was like, "Oh, Bryan Cranston's in this movie," no, he's dead.
And now the military's all like, "That guy obviously knew stuff we didn't know. We got to find out about it." But he's dead. Get a kid, I guess.
Yeah, ask his
it's
son.
Good enough, right?
I mean, that was what I would do, I guess. But it sounds like, I thought my dad was crazy. I don't know. The thing you said, I've been changing his will while I wasn't looking.
I change his will almost as often as I change his diaper. I don't know.
I'm his only living relative, I change it so I don't get those zip disks.
Because I fear what's on them.
Yeah, I don't want any part of that.
But yeah, and he does drop a bit of knowledge of, he thinks it's using some kind of sonar, so they start tracking this thing down. He, I guess, just goes back to Hawaii. Is that the deal?
So
somehow he ends up on a train in Hawaii.
He ends up in Hawaii because he hooks up with the military, and the military is gathering there.
No, that's in Hawaii. That's after this train thing.
Right. Well, I'm saying like, oh, okay. So he hooks up with, because he's with Ken Watanabe and all the scientists and whatever. They go to Hawaii to try and locate this thing.
Right.
He's going to drop off there and then hook up with military transport or whatever, hopefully back home.
Right.
Until he decides he wants another 5 tours of duty.
Yeah, and then, so while this is happening, they notice another signal.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what's the other thing? And the guy's like, I think it's nature trying to fix balance and shit. It's nature's Godzilla.
It's nature's whisper, a new douche.
Yeah, this isn't the only giant monster we've encountered. We're aware of this other one, and we think it's gonna come here and fuck up this bug creature if we'll just let it.
Yeah.
They're like, you're fucking crazy. There's no way that's happening.
So Brody here, Ford Brody, is in Hawaii. He gets on a train.
Stupid name.
There's some pointless nonsense about him with this little kid, which...
So, straight up, this dude is a Mary Sue.
For sure.
He does nothing wrong this whole time. He is unkillable.
Yeah.
First of all, there are so many times he should be killed in this movie.
And he's always in the either right place at the right time or wrong place at the wrong time,
exactly,
depending on how you want to look at it.
He's Johnny on the spot, no matter what, how you cut it.
They don't explain why he knows what he knows. Like, he's part of the nuclear team in the military, something like that.
He's explosive disposal.
Yeah.
Okay. So he knows nukes somehow. Like he knows nukes.
Well, yeah, he knows how to disarm bombs of all kinds.
It's
That is his
also-
thing, which is very specific.
That and he used to collect action figures and moths is all I know about this character. He has no personality whatsoever.
He had an
really has
expansive
one.
Lego collection in his room,
Okay.
as well as kaiju posters on his wall.
Doesn't matter.
He was a nerd, Tony. Collecting bugs, playing with G.I. Joes and Lego.
Okay.
What more do you need to know?
It'd be nice if he had some kind of personality, but whatever.
That would require him having more lines than he did.
He does have a personality. He hates being around his family.
Yeah, and he
That
likes
is true.
And he likes being the hero. I know.
Yeah, he's got a huge ego, and he doesn't want to kiss
So,
the
yeah.
weird Olsen triplet.
Well,
His sister in the other movie.
yes.
Yeah, he doesn't want to bang his sister.
I don't know they know their brother and sister yet. Is the problem?
Oh, you think it's a Star Wars tie-in? because
They're in
of
Japan
Rogue One?
though.
Yeah,
Where it's okay.
I mean they're not at that point.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
No incest on U.S. soil, except in the Midwest.
wow. Okay. And we're off and running. All right. So,
Shorts fired.
as I said before, them being a mutant pair of brother and sisters certainly explains their child. But we'll just.
How did you explain it before?
I believe
Doritos.
Wait,
Doritos.
I don't need any Doritos to say. I believe that when this kid was made, they filled in the extra DNA with frog.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
And I'm the terrible one.
you are. But regardless. So, yeah, the point is he's on this train that apparently goes all around Hawaii. I don't know if this is a thing.
Yeah, can you guys let us know if this is an actual... Is there like a huge monorail system on Hawaii?
Yeah,
Monorail.
yeah, come on, Rich. Let us know.
Does it really go all the way to North Haverbrook?
Might.
Is there a Starbucks in Ogdenville?
No. Anyway,
Will I get the cops called if I go there?
yes. So because and also I guess
you would never
he
go to
is,
Starbucks to begin with.
I believe this
Not
kid is
well.
Japanese, so I'm not even sure why he's
Doesn't
there.
even matter. Well,
Regardless,
people,
he-
tourists,
well,
people,
that's true.
whatever. It doesn't
That's
matter.
true. But he you know, the white savior is there to help out when the kid gets left behind by his parents because he's on the monorail and they're not. For no reason, just to have him like
Just cause.
be more of a hero, I guess. But this giant bug creature shows up, starts fucking everything up.
Do you think this whole movie was the most subtle commercial for the core action figures?
What?
That was the little fake ass G.I. Joe that he gave that kid.
Was it?
Yeah. And, you know, the core figure line is the line that made the figures for, like, Kong Skull Island.
You know what? They are just cheap and shitty and dumb enough that this could be true.
They were like, we have all these boxes of these. Here, just use them in your movies. Here,
Yeah.
just take them.
We will melt them down and make
They
you a
made-
dinosaur.
They made core action figures for real?
Not based on the movie, Brian.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
called, it's called
Okay.
The Core because
Okay.
they can't say G.I. Joe.
Oh, okay.
Like core, like CORPS.
Okay, I'm
Yeah, I'm
thinking like
sorry.
the core of the movie. I'm like,
no.
I'm like, what the fuck?
No, that would have been...
I thought that for a moment too, but then I
What the
remembered.
fuck?
They just make one that's the ship, and it's like, is this a dildo?
Here's a crystal.
Well, I can tell you, they're close enough because they're both shitty, and you'll find both at the dollar store. But anyway,
Before an old episode, find it on 4ampodcast.podbean.com.
Or don't. It's probably a terrible episode.
it's a terrible movie.
Especially since Joe was in it.
Wow. Poop fired.
So soon enough, I'm sure. Especially if he keeps drinking. So,
Scoop it a poop. Scoop it a poop.
monster attacks.
Scoop diddy
Off
poop.
the rails.
Poop diddy scoops.
No, they're on a monorail. Just one rail.
Monorail, monorail.
Tony, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Fucking Brian. See, this is why I miss and appreciate you, Joe.
Can I play the piano anymore?
Of course you can.
Well, I couldn't before.
All right, no, stop.
Okay, sorry.
All right, so the monster attacks. It's fucking things up. Everything looks really bad. This guy, Ford, is there. He's like, "I'll save you, kid." By just existing,
I will
saves
say,
you. I don't.
it's kind of an interesting thing because they're like the EMP that this monster sends off shuts down the whole island, basically.
Yes.
Shuts down this monorail, and everything is dark, and like nobody has seen the monster yet, and like suddenly the lights come on, and the monorail starts going again, and now it's like, oh, there's just a giant monster on the tracks that we're now heading directly toward.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of cool. Like,
yeah,
I'd be freaking out.
Oh, for sure. But
I mean, I'd be scared for my life, but I'd be hard as a rock at the same time.
the monorail's hanging off the side, and you're just hanging on by your dong. All right, so he saves this kid. Whatever. Again, we're trying to like make him a hero for some reason, but he's not really doing anything because it's a giant fucking monster, and there's nothing he can do. But someone shows up who can do something about this. It's Godzilla. We see, the big footfalls, slowly pans up. It's Godzilla. He lets out an epic roar. This is going to be amazing. And we cut to news footage.
Yeah. It isn't another, it's an opening to another cool scene, though. But, I will say, his introduction is awesome.
Yeah.
The Muto is what they're calling, it's...
The bugs.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what Muto stands for.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think it's massive unidentified terrestrial organism or something like that.
Something like that.
But this thing, uses the EMP wave again.
Mm-hmm.
So knocks a helicopter out of the air. Or actually, no, Godzilla I think knocks a helicopter. Something knocks a helicopter out of the air. It falls and lands on an airplane at the airport.
Yeah.
And then starts a chain reaction of it shows from inside the airport, these people are watching through the big glass windows as the planes are exploding, hopping, and debris is hopping from one plane to another, just exploding its entire airport. And they're all screaming until Godzilla's foot just comes down in the middle of it and it's just silence. You hear the foot fall and then it's just silence. And then it pans up to show Godzilla, and he roars.
Big beefy calves.
Yeah, he does have some. He's thick with 3 C's, man. But he
wow, only you want to fuck it.
Anyway, so I mean, it's not wrong.
We know he's not wrong. Continue.
I can't now. So, yeah. Then all of a sudden, we just cut away. Yeah, and we're watching this dumb kid watching this dumb news report with we get to kind of see these monsters fighting on the television, but it's got all those tickers and everything else.
I'm saying I was legit mad.
Yeah.
Even in the theater, you are now watching this fight you came here to see on a screen that's smaller than your actual TV if they just showed the fucking fight.
Yeah.
This is not what we're here for. I mean, hooray for Elizabeth Olsen doing whatever the hell she was doing at the moment, but
it doesn't fucking matter.
Crying? I think that's what she does this whole movie, is just cry.
That's not really the case.
If I wanted to see that, I would watch Infinity War.
This movie shows a lot of shit that doesn't fucking matter.
That's true.
Almost the whole movie shit that doesn't fucking matter. I don't care. I want to see them fucking fight.
Kind of like Rogue One, am I right, everybody?
No, I enjoyed Rogue One quite a bit.
Here's my problem with this. Okay, right on with the, we're big inspired by Jaws. We want to follow that, thing. We're not going to show the monster right away. We're going to have a slow build to it and have a dramatic reveal. And that works. But once you show the monster, fucking do something with him. He's there. We don't need that anymore. There's no mystery. He's there. Let him do shit.
I disagree with that too, because it's Godzilla. Everybody knows what Godzilla looks like, man. It's not a secret.
Well, no, but this is a new design.
If it was the 1998 one, yes, hide that as much as possible.
But my point is, regardless of whether if you want to do that, do that. But now that you've shown him, we don't need to play these games anymore.
No, absolutely not.
Fucking let him be there. Let him do things.
Because when Godzilla movies it's dudes in rubber suits fighting each other for an hour. And there's some other stuff mixed in there. But it's, by and large, two dudes in rubber suits fighting each other. You know who's gonna win. You know what's up. We don't need this human story involved.
Yeah, like now that we've reached a point in our world where we have, you know, the ability to use things like CGI or whatever to make these monsters look really cool and make their fights really cool. And this is when we decide not to do that. But when you have two dudes in rubber suits, let's focus all that time on there. Like,
Yeah.
I think you guys got this wrong. Like, it's backwards.
But I feel like maybe they learned their lesson, because if you watch Kong, which we did,
Yes.
it's not that.
I
It is. They
I would
get
argue,
right there.
Yeah, I would argue that's the difference of directors, maybe more than
Yes and no, but
learning
I mean,
a lesson.
But since the movies are trying to set up this
Monster universe.
franchise universe, like they should presumably be falling under the umbrella of, hey, this is what we need. This is what needs to happen.
Well, yeah, hopefully, you know, from here on out, they will be better with this. But
I think they were trying to. I think they tried too hard to right all the wrongs that the 98 movie made. Where there was like the monsters on screen a ton and it looks awful. And people are, you know, it's too much.
Well, I think we have that problem a lot of the time with these kind of movies where it is a thing of like, we need the human element. And again, this goes back to the thing I don't understand with that, like, you know, have the kid in it so kids can like visualize themselves in that. I don't always need that. Like if I see a monster movie.
I don't really know why the kid was in this. Like,
I mean, not
For
just
no
in this.
reason.
Not just in this, but I mean like the general, like, you know, whatever, we have that kid character in it, so you know, you're Robin, so you could pretend like you could be Robin when you're a kid, like so you can, you know, someone for you to visualize yourself in.
Mm-hmm.
But like they do that a lot with these kind of movies, especially around this era between the 90s and the early 2000s. We had that thing where like
This is 4 years ago.
Well,
3 years ago.
well, it still went on for quite a while. But like where people we had to have that human element that like you couldn't have a movie about Transformers without the human there or whatever, because you needed that thing. And I know that's part of Transformers story and whatever, but like this is a movie about monsters. Just make it about monsters. Like you can have a human element in it, but that doesn't need to be the focus. We don't need to be focused on this Ford running around through every city and, you know, jumping out of every building just before it explodes and whatever else. Like we're here to see monsters. That's why we're watching.
I
this.
totally agree with that. And I think they could have gotten away with just follow Ken Watanabe. He could be your human element. Mm-hmm. He's following the creature.
But Rob,
Yes.
he's not a white guy, so that's not gonna happen in this movie.
Yeah, but you know, I think he's been in Hollywood long enough that he kind of counts as a white guy.
Well,
But like we were in Japan and like we had all these people that we could have followed, but we chose to follow the only white guy in all Japan.
Notice Ken.
the
notice
only
Ken.
white guy in all of Japan.
I'm pretty sure Ken was in Japan there too, and he never spoke a word of Japanese, if I'm
Not,
remembering.
not once. Not once. Not once.
Well, if you count Gojira.
And also Optimus Primal, who was also not Japanese, was there in Japan.
Did he even get to say anything?
Yeah, he had 2 lines, I believe.
Okay. Fucking hell.
Gary Chalk, shout
No
out,
wonder, no wonder I didn't remember he was in this movie. Honestly, even when you were like, there he is. The reason I didn't catch on is I thought you were pointing at the Japanese guy, and I was just like, who is that? And like, should I know who that is? I didn't even realize Gary Chalk was in the background.
Yeah. No, I don't know why the obsession with like having a white guy as the main character. Let's hope that the fantastic success of Black Panther helps to alleviate that to some degree.
It just means it's going to be a black guy now.
That's okay. Listen,
No, because it's still going to be the annoying American.
yeah, it's going to be Idris Elba. It will be Idris. Or I mean, Dwayne Johnson. He's where's he from?
He lived in my
Samoan.
hometown for a little while. And Black and Samoan. Like,
Okay, so he's light enough that people aren't afraid of him.
Oh, Jesus.
Listen, it's just real talk, Tony.
Just real talk. That's why they call you the terrible one.
Just be like,
I know.
He lived in my hometown for a few years.
yeah, he's either got to be light enough that he's not a threat, or he's got to be short enough like Kevin Hart.
Well, yeah, hopefully we have moved past some of this kind of nonsense now, but, and we're having more movies with strong female characters, Black Panther included, so hopefully we can see more of that. But the point is, if you have a movie set in Japan, feel free to cast some Japanese people in it, just saying.
I mean, in theory.
A couple.
In theory. Instead of Bryan Cranston for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You're like,
That could have been anybody.
It could have been anybody.
yeah, they were just trying to capitalize on the popularity of Breaking Bad at
I
the
guess
time.
so. I mean, I guess.
That's why he was so prominent in the trailers. He was so prominent in all the promotional material because they were just trying to capitalize on that Breaking Bad because it was huge at the time.
Well, I think that we're also trying to, do it like, oh, look, this is going to be about this, or make you think that, and then, go, oh, nope, we're going a different way. I think the problem is they didn't anticipate how much people would be disappointed when they're like, it's not going to be Bryan Cranston, it's going to be Kick-Ass. And everyone's like, who?
Yeah, honestly, if it was Bryan Cranston, like, Bryan Cranston and Ken Watanabe, the whole movie, like, together, figuring it out together, I would have been totally fine with that.
Absolutely.
But this, like, freaking milquetoast, dead face, like...
I'm not even going to crap on him. Well, I already did, but I'm not going to crap too much on him. Again, my bigger problem is you have him, you have Kick-Ass running around, and he's kind of your eyes in the story. This is who you're following.
Did you say Kick-Ass or Cock-Ass?
Whichever one. But like, if we just followed him and then we saw things happen, I'd be okay with that. But instead, we follow him, and then like the giant monster fight begins, which is what you came there to see, and then we cut to his family watching it on the news.
Yeah, it is just.
Oh yeah, we're still at that part.
Yeah,
So let's keep going.
Yeah.
it's 90% of the movie, Brian. So don't worry.
So what happens after this?
They survived somehow.
The Muto, however you say it, gets away. We don't see how it gets away. And Godzilla's back in the water. We don't see him leave.
Yeah. And somehow the entire island is not destroyed in this fight.
Yeah.
It mostly is, but
Somehow. But like all these people are there and they're alive and everything, but we don't know how or what. Just
And we're
whatever.
back in the water.
and it's it's Muto because if you say Motu, a bunch of He-Man fanboys are going to send us angry emails.
Wow.
God. So yeah.
They don't listen to our show because if they did, they would have commented on the He-Man episode. That's the old episode.
Well, because I don't think it's in the rotation. You got to go to our archive page to get that.
True.
Where's
At
that?
4am podcast at podbean.com or .podbean.com.
I'm sorry, where is that?
4am podcast .podbean.com.
All right. So the kid returns the boy.
Go to the website. Oh, sorry.
Buy some stuff. God. Oh.
I'm marking it now. This will be the most hated episode.
So hates are still watching.
Yeah, it's
so.
listen.
Tell us how much you hate us. Write in at the4ampodcast@gmail.com. So anyway, he returns this kid to their family because that's fucking happened. It counts to nothing.
Yeah,
He sees the military unit walking past him, and he just kind of jumps in line and becomes
just-
part of the group.
They're like, sure,
Swept
come on.
away.
Sticks his thumb out, hikes his skirt up a little bit, and they're just like, yeah, sure.
Sure, why not?
Get on here. Cowboy.
So they're off.
So is this the point where they realized that the Motu responded to something responded to it? It wasn't Godzilla.
Yes.
Yeah, they're figuring out that this thing is collecting food and responding to a signal.
Well, yeah, they're starting to figure out. They thought maybe it was Godzilla, but it was like, well, Godzilla's hunting it. Why would it call something it's hunting, or call the thing that's hunting it rather? They're like, no, I don't think that's what it is. It seems more like a mating call. There must be another one of these things out there. And they remember, oh, right, there were two of these when we found them. So where'd the other one go?
The United States took it.
Of
Good
course.
job, guys.
Where we put all our nuclear waste.
Yeah, cut to a McDonald's.
Cut to your bathroom an hour ago.
For real.
And an hour from now. So they instead they cut to Las Vegas, Nevada,
Of course.
or I guess just the Nevada desert. Apparently, there's this huge vault. I mean, I think there is.
Yucca Mountain.
Yeah, the nuclear waste facility.
But
But
once
again,
again,
it's how did you miss that?
this helicopter drops, or these guys go in with this helicopter following this convoy as it goes in. These guys go in, they check the little...
They're checking all the vaults.
Little windows on each vault, yeah, to see... And one of them, they're like, oh, there's light coming through. That's odd. And they open it. There's a giant hole in the side of this fucking mountain.
Like, it's a smaller mountain-sized hole in the side of this mountain.
Yeah. I
And
mean, beyond that, there is a 300-foot gorilla cockroach wandering towards Las Vegas.
like, how the fuck did you miss this?
Well, like, as we're questioning that, we see, like, the helicopter goes around to the side of the mountain, there's a giant hole, and then the guy's, like, looking out with his binoculars, like, where could this thing be? Like, no, there's the city, there's some cactus, and there's a giant cockroach,
There's some AT-ATs coming toward us.
There's a giant stingray.
It's a stingray, yeah.
But yeah, like, how did this helicopter should have been like, hey
right.
guys, don't bother going in there. There it is.
That's
There it
right.
is.
Punisher.
It got there already.
Punisher just got his shirt from the Cabo Wabo Cantina. He's ready to.
Yo, if Wild Dude was on Hawaii, the little kid gave him a shirt for the rest of the movie.
He's standing outside the Hard Rock Cafe. I got you this.
Oh,
Yes,
Oh, man.
you all must fear the vengeance of the Coppertone baby.
Yeah, so
Whatever.
this giant gorilla looking thing is the female of the species.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing as the male, but it doesn't have wings, but it's like twice the size.
Yeah, it's way bigger.
Yeah.
And now all three of these monsters are converging on. Is it San Francisco?
yeah,
Yes.
San Fran, which is where the dude's wife lives.
Yeah. And so, all right.
And why are they going there exactly?
Well,
Do we know?
they're trying to fuck, so
Yeah, but
just in the middle.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, like, there's a big mountain that you still didn't hit like half the vaults apparently too.
Well, I think
Back there.
she's just going to meet the male.
yeah, like he
they're
said,
trying to
they're meeting in the middle. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
And then
yeah.
then the military starts shipping this mega, or is it kiloton, megaton
nuclear warhead.
nuke towards the coast. Because they're like,
Alright, they're trying to lure it out.
yeah, we're going to lure it out to the water. We're going to set this bomb off. And we know the fallout won't kill them, but the impact of the bomb will.
we hope
Presumably,
well, yeah.
yeah. And they think it'll kill Godzilla as well. Whatever.
With quote unquote minimum fallout damage for the city.
Right.
And like Dr. Ishiro, whatever, he's like, yo, let's let them fight. Like,
Yeah.
he's like saying what we're all saying. Just let them fight. That's what we want to say.
Right. That's like, dude, I
He's on the
paid.
side going, cripple fire!
Let them fight.
It's like I paid $12.95, man. Just let me see Godzilla kill something.
Let them fight.
I see, and that's the funny thing, because, like, again, we have Ford there. He's supposed to be the person you, like, can project yourself into, but I'm projecting myself into Ken Watanabe. So I'm like, just let him fight! Just let him fight!
Because in the meantime, Ford is like, all right, so you guys, instead of me just getting a plane to San Francisco, instead, I'm going to hook up with these bomb squad guys and jump out of an airplane. And like he has been taking on assignments the whole time he's been off duty. It seems just to avoid his family.
I will give him this. I'll give him this because the airport blew up at Hawaii.
Yeah, no,
So
that's fine.
The best route to get off of Hawaii was to go with the military,
Right.
wherever they went, and then from there he probably could find a ride home. It's not what happens. He goes with them. He's like,
Right.
fuck it, let's just keep doing missions.
Yeah.
I happen to know how to defuse nukes if in case something happens. So,
I need to get gold.
yeah. So in case you have to disarm a nuke later on in the movie, I'm your guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just if somehow the nuke thing doesn't work after disarm it, I'm here.
Yep. Unless the door gets jammed.
Yeah. And then it doesn't matter anyway.
Nope. So another on this. He's on this train. And this train is carrying the nuke now. So they're passing through somewhere.
Tunnel.
And there's just this whole scene where the Muto is there and just hijacks the train. Just takes the nuke, drops everything on the train into the water. Tanks, soldiers, Ford, everything. Everybody's dead except Ford.
Only one alive.
He fell in the water and had a train dropped on him.
Like, literally, it fell a second after he hit the water. On him.
And he's alive.
It went splash, 1,000. Splash! Like, that's what happened.
If you were trying to count a thunderstorm, it'd be on your house.
Like, they have repeatedly pointed out how he's the only one who survived this particular attack. And he's pretty much the only one who survived every previous attack.
So, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., a little off subject, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. they've made fun of this now in the past few episodes. There's one extra agent, who keeps living. And so he tells a story about how he made it out, but it's always off screen. So they're like, man, that's the best story I ever heard. Each time he lives, he has a new story about how he made it out.
Okay.
But then you never hear it. You see the after part, and it's kind of funny.
That is awesome.
All right.
Yeah, why don't we could Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. could use a few more
Wow.
Newmies, for lack of a better phrase. Like the dude from Baywatch who just like never like really had lines or anything, but kept showing up.
Yeah.
Like, just do that.
What are we talking about right now?
Sorry.
Anyway. So yeah, no, they get the nuke here.
No, it eats that nuke, and then it kills their plan because it eats that nuke, so that plan is bogus now, done. Then it heads towards San Francisco.
But don't they get another nuke that's on the boat?
It's a different nuke, a different one they flew in because it ate the one on the train. so
they just keep failing.
Let's fly this one. So they fly a nuke over this time.
And I was laughing here because I also we get to see some news footage of all this, and they have a little graphic of a giant monster going through the city. It's just adorable to think someone took their time to animate that.
They had to make the model of it, put in all the bones and the joints, and like.
I'm just picturing like the weatherman standing in front of the green screen, like, over here we have some clouds and some rain, and here we had a giant monster that might destroy your day.
And that's when he tucks his butt off screen to fart.
Yes. I love that clip.
He stopped talking. Like, why would you stop talking?
I'm sorry, Brian. You have a whole discussion about how you can't talk when you fart.
He legit.
All right.
But if it was off camera, it wouldn't make noise.
Why doesn't it's ideally it's not visible. Why did you have to go off camera?
He might as well have like just tucked his butt off screen and just took a like creamy dump. Just some really soft serve shit right off screen.
He could have at least like faked a sneeze or something. Anyway, God, where are we now? All right. Oh,
San Francisco.
So yeah, well, Ford is doing everything he can to quote get back to his family while getting as far away from his family as possible. His wife also is like, let's keep moving. I got to keep doing things and like.
But I gotta move on.
She's already.
So I'm gonna put my child on a bus.
Yeah. She's already ignored her kid while she's doing all her work, and now she's like, you know what, kid, just get on the bus. I'm gonna wait for your dad.
So I just want to point out. So there are 3 kids in this movie that like have lines, kind of. It's their son, the little girl on the beach in Hawaii, and the little Japanese kid.
If he's Japanese.
If he's Japanese, right? Those 3 kids. They're on this bus, there are more kids, but like, these 3 kids.
Yeah.
2 of these kids are just dead face.
Yeah.
All the time on the screen.
including the one with the most screen time.
Yeah, just dead face. He has no emotions. This little kid, he's like, what, Mom? Where am I going? Oh, okay. I guess I'm going over here now. And just dead face.
Do you need some water?
Don't die. If you do,
There's
have
nothing
yourself.
in there. There's nothing in that bottle. Go get some water.
I have to get some water. But just to clarify, before,
Go get some water.
when I mentioned that this kid might be Japanese, it was more because
Racism.
it threw me off because this was probably the most Japanese people we've seen in this movie, and it's in Hawaii, not in Japan. Continue.
He could have been Hawaiian.
Maybe.
Taurus.
He could have been. He could have been Chinese. He could have been Korean.
Taurus?
He could
Anyway.
have been a Ford Taurus. The Ford Taurus family of cars.
But yeah, so she decides she has to wait for her husband to come. So she sends her kid. She sends her kid away with the other kids and the nurses from the hospital she works
Yeah, she
at.
just puts them out of like. So you just learned today that monsters are real.
Real.
Giant monsters.
Huge
Like
monsters.
300-foot tall monsters are real. You are going to voluntarily put your child on a bus to leave your presence for a second at all.
Well, she's waiting for her husband, Rob. I think because she knows, like, I need to be here when he shows up, because if he dies, I gotta raise you myself. If you die, we'll just make another one.
Oh, if you die, I'll instantly go into heat.
Probably.
Just make more children, more cubs.
Maybe.
The whole movie's about things she's trying to fuck. She's like, I just want to fuck. Go away, kid. I can't fuck with you around.
I guess. So
And it's kind of an underlying story going on here, isn't it?
So this kid is
Like,
on.
he wasn't here.
Is on the magic school bus, and then she is going into an underground like.
It's not magic, it's just short.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is literally a short bus.
You are not wrong.
The views and opinions.
I was tearing while I was seeing it.
Views and opinions.
He didn't bite.
Views and opinions implied by the 4AM podcast, not just by Brian. Do not represent the.
No, she is just hanging around. She's waiting where she was told he would show up. Basically, he was like, "I'll meet you here," so she's waiting there. Meanwhile, she puts him, and this is the thing, because like I'm sure she's not aware of everything that's happening, but she literally puts him on this bus, sends it across the Golden Gate Bridge so it can get about halfway, so that Godzilla can show up and fuck things up.
Yo, like
She paid a lot of money for him to have that experience. Okay. No, but in the meantime,
And by that you mean she paid Godzilla a lot of money to eat that child.
yeah. So. So yeah, at this point the kid is on the bridge. They're all in the bus. There's actually like a pretty, I guess, decent jump scare here where a bird hits the window of the bus.
I would cut my pants off.
Yeah, it definitely got me. Like the first couple of times I saw it, only because I saw it like several like months apart. I forgot it happened, but Godzilla comes up. And the military's just like firing at this guy. It's like, what do you stop, man? You know none of this stuff works. Like you've already tried shooting at him with all kinds of stuff. What are you doing?
Well, this is the problem with, again, who's sharing what information, because Monarch knows all this stuff about Godzilla. They're like, we dropped a bunch of bombs on him, didn't seem to do shit. The military is just like, I've never seen this before, hit it with everything we got.
Yeah, but like, if the military comes in, I want to at least to hear the music. Dun, 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 dun. And then you need to get the little model cars in with the, the big, like radar gun things that they use. I need those. All right. I can't be having this. Anyway.
You know what? I want to see this movie reshot as a film noir style movie, but like it's through Godzilla. He's like, it's another day on the job.
His wife's nagging him at home.
He's gonna hunt monsters and shit. Like, they keep shooting at me. I don't know why. Like,
The big chase scene at the end, like, I gotta take care of these bad guys. I was just making my way through the river when all these thugs showed up. The military's there.
He'll be played by Steven Seagal in green face.
oh god.
Honey, this. I told you this.
I don't know the last time you've seen Steven Seagal, but you might not need makeup.
Well, he at least needs the green,
Looks
right?
like a Russian villain now. He does. He's a Russian villain. For real.
He sure does.
These monsters keep showing up in my turf. I had to take them down.
But like Godzilla, he's like mad chill when it comes to people. He's like, look, I'm just trying to go hunt these monsters. Leave me the fuck alone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to not kill you. I mean, I'm gonna destroy the town, but the boats right now, I'll leave you alone. I go under you. I go around you.
Right.
Leave me the fuck alone. Me.
I'm gonna destroy your town, but like less than they were gonna. You know?
Yeah, they were gonna make little disgusting babies, and you know.
But yeah, to the point where he literally
San Fran is overcrowded.
He's going through the river here, and like the boats are all around him, and he just comes to a dead stop. Like, are you guys going to move?
Yeah, like, huh?
I'll go through you if I have to, but
so. All right, so basically, Godzilla just tears through the bridge.
Yeah.
And he's in the city now. And now all the monsters converge together as What's-Her-Face Olsen is being led into this little safe area, whatever you want.
Bunker.
Yeah, bunker area. And again, the monsters are about to fight.
Well, it's not a safe area. It's literally... It's
a shelter of some kind.
Well, it's just
or
she's in the city. I think it's a subway because she's in the city, and a group of people are like, "Oh shit, there's the cockroach monster. We got to get away from it." And they start running, and then they see in the other direction there's Godzilla. So they're just like, fuck, let's get underground or where, whatever."
But the point is, nearby. They're all going in there. You see the monsters about to fight, and then it shows from inside whatever the bunker, whatever you want to call it, the doors just close. And it's like, no, you don't get to watch this again.
Now, the movie will show you fights eventually. You do get to see some fights happening.
And those fights are cool as hell. But
it's like, man, it's like, fuck.
You have to pay a price to get there. A pasty white price.
I could be wrong, but isn't there a very similar scene to this in Pacific Rim?
There is a scene in a kaiju bunker.
Yeah, but I thought there was like a similar thing of like it attacking the close the doors on it, but maybe I'm getting
not to
confused.
my knowledge, not to my recollection. But yeah, so what the heck happens?
They make a new plan now to
the skydiving plan?
Yeah.
They put first they were going to use a nuke. The other they flew in, they put a timer on that was like clockwork. So it wouldn't be affected by the EMP pulses they have. Mm-hmm. Well, the monster's like, "Fuck, I'm taking it," and just took it.
Yep.
They gave it to the female
grasp.
one. Yeah. And so that they were like, "Oh fuck, we can't turn that off." So send in the paratroopers.
What'd you get? Yeah, I love the we've had a lot of trouble with like our boats and our vehicles on the ground because of the CMP blast, so let's fly above it. And I understand it's to fly out of its range, but it's like a plane seems to be the worst place you could be when the CMP goes off.
Well, yeah, and I think that's why they wanted to go by train in the first place.
Yeah.
Because they knew.
Well, yeah, but like now so they're just okay, we're going to fly
now
you
it's
above
like
and drop you.
Yeah, they don't really have a choice at this point. So, yeah, they drop them out.
And the scene it's cool looking to show the skydivers with the...
It is, because you can see, like, above the cloud line, the sky is, like, pretty, and the sun's out, and everything. And they go through the clouds, and you can see, like, there's a storm, and they go through, and then there's smoke, and then there's a Godzilla.
I was hoping that one would have been hit by a monster.
That would have been cool. But, it's fine.
Ford is part of this team because he knows how to disarm nukes in a minute.
Sure, yeah. I didn't know he knew how to fly a plane or jump out of a plane.
They make you jump out of stuff, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. I guess all you really have to do is not die. Yeah.
Well, they make a point of saying that, like, those of you that land successfully, please go do this thing.
Yeah.
Like, basically, we know most of you aren't surviving this shit.
Because it's super high, super low. It's a drop. Like, they drop from real high up and open the chutes, like where the buildings start. It's an open the chutes. Yeah. So it's super dangerous.
And that's even if there weren't giant monsters destroying everything in the process.
Yeah. It was like buildings are not there where there were once buildings, and there's possible debris where there was nothing before, so even their layout of the city may not be correct. But
so again, this is a cool scene, but it's also again the problem of I want to see Godzilla fight something. Like,
Okay, but
you're showing me like flashes of it, and like through this guy's goggles and dust and what. Like, just get to fucking Godzilla fighting a thing.
And like around now is where you start seeing the fights for 15 seconds of showing them fighting each other, and then it'll cut away. A little bit longer now. You see it happening.
So we get to the Muto's nest where the bomb is located, and there are just gross eggs everywhere. But not it's like real insect eggs. It's not like Madison Square Garden.
Like tadpoles, frog eggs, see through.
Yeah, so it's that, and they're military guys. They pull the bomb out, and they're like,
we can't disarm it because it's jammed.
They can't open the door, which is just like, you guys. Nobody brought like a Swiss Army knife or something to just like open the door up.
So plan B was to take the bomb and put it on a boat and try and get as far away from the city as possible.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. When they pulled it out, they still had 27 minutes left.
Yeah.
You couldn't get that door open in a half hour?
I was thinking, there's probably large chunks of rebar everywhere. You make a crowbar kind of thing.
Yeah, something.
Pry it open.
You don't have tools with you?
Maybe
you might not have tools with you. You fucking jumped out of the plane.
A welding thing to cut the metal.
Anything.
That would be nice.
Just hit it with a brick. Anything.
Maybe you don't want to hit the brick, but
this is Armageddon. Last movie, that's what would happen.
I mean, this bomb has survived being carried around by this monster for the last
that's fair.
However long. So,
I don't know how it works. So,
Also, you're telling me this monster stole this thing, gooed it up, and then put eggs all over it in less than an hour?
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, because
that is efficient.
The male was fighting Godzilla while the female was laying the eggs.
Yeah, it just seems like
and then once it finished laying the eggs, it was like I'm gonna fight too.
Yeah.
So they get this bomb out. But Ford is like, these eggs are still here. We gotta do something about the eggs.
And while this is happening, we are getting some really cool fight stuff with Godzilla and the two
now
monsters.
shit's going down. Godzilla's fighting these two giant Mutos.
They are throwing each other around. And here's part of where I can kind of I don't understand why the movie is so long with so much human stuff, but I can understand why they might limit some of the monster fights. 'Cause it is a lot of just biting and throwing things around. Yeah. And it could, if they made it too long, it could get very repetitive.
That's fair. That's fair. They do a decent job during these sequences to give you just enough fights and then move to something else. Give you just enough fight again and move to something else.
Yeah.
So during this time, I can say it works. It works during this time, but the rest of the movie.
Because if you talk about some of the Toho Godzilla movies, they understood that we can't just have them swing each other around for long, so they got into some stupid shit.
Oh yeah, flying around on your tail. I'm
playing soccer with rocks and stuff. Yeah, it's real stupid. So anyway. Yeah, the military is carting off the bomb, and Ford is I know you guys are doing that, and I know it's really important that we get this bomb there, but I'm totally gonna divert this female's attention towards us.
I mean, one of them could have said, "Hey, maybe while we take it away, you could be trying to disarm it. How about that?" And he's like, "Nah. I'm going to take care of these eggs. You guys go do that."
Or at least wait till we get to the boat before you cause an explosion.
So there's a gas truck happens to be down where they are just because reasons.
Yeah,
because he's the king.
Yeah, so he knocks the gas tank nozzle off and there's fire everywhere. So eventually it blows up.
Yeah,
and it's the most touching scene in the whole movie. Because
is it really?
It is because
sadly, yes.
The only emotions in this whole movie come from this monster. Literally, Bryan Cranston tried in the first minute of the movie. He had some emotions with his.
Yeah, I would have gone with that. Or when you think Godzilla. Well, I mean, I didn't think for a second Godzilla was dead, but
there is some sexual tension perhaps between the Fords,
the two Mutos.
These eggs blow up, and the monster goes, "Huh." like audibly, huh? And then turns around and it's like crying. It's like, no. It's real touching. It's like, oh, she cares about her kids, unlike Ford and his wife.
Who's his wife, who's being crushed to death as we speak.
But yeah, like.
But good on Ford. He burns these eggs, so there's not going to be more of these little things. At least not yet. And Godzilla's like, cool. While she's busy doing that, I'm going to fuck this dude up. And they start fighting. Ford helps them. They get the bomb on the boat. He starts getting away from the shore here when this monster shows up and does the little EMP thing again.
Well, there was one scene we
got to talk about this.
Like after the bomb blows, after the eggs go up, and the mother is having her emotional scene. Ford is laying there, just like kind of stunned by the explosion, and the fucking monster fucking looks him in the face, like.
Dude, worse than that, he's trying to get away from this thing because he sees it's coming back to the nest that he just set on fire, and he like scrambles back a little and like. Basically, he might as well have just knocked the little photo she had of her and this other Muto off the shelf, and it cracked, and she heard this tiny little noise, and it spins her head over at him.
All this rubble everywhere falling.
Yeah.
And she's like,
her babies are still burning.
Yeah,
did this.
That could be her maternal instincts are just like, this is the bitch that killed my babies.
You did this.
But that'd be like if you came back to your apartment and you found your stove was on fire, and then you just like saw a little beetle, like one of those pill bugs on the ground, and you were just like, I know if you spotted it, you'd have that reaction.
You know that bug is the one that turned your stove on.
But like you wouldn't notice that bug. You'd be busy with the fucking stove.
True. I don't know. Maybe he's like smells like because he's a mutant, maybe he smells like... Well, he's not even a mutant. He got his power from the stone, right? The Infinity Stone?
Inhuman, Rob. We call them
enhanced.
Enhanced, right.
Enhanced. They couldn't use mutants in the movie.
But he's not even inhuman, right?
No, because he got his power from the Infinity Stone.
Yeah, they were enhanced by...
Which, they could retcon later. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Either way. Was male Muto... alive still at this point?
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is where, like, all of a sudden a light shines, and you're like, what the fuck's this light?
There's blue light showing up.
And all of a sudden you start getting hard and stuff. You're like, man, what's happening right now?
Listen, I could, like, I had to...
What's about to happen? Like,
this is because even though I knew exactly what was happening, and even the first time I saw it, I knew exactly what was going to happen. But like, like the little hairs on my arms start standing up and stuff. Like I'm getting psyched.
I had to lie on my back and like put my knees up towards my chest.
Let's not go there
because
I don't know.
Because I was getting so aroused.
Like for me, because I hadn't seen this before. Literally a minute earlier, I was like, "Hit him with your lightning breath!"
Mm-hmm.
Like a minute before,
and I was fighting, not saying anything to you because I was like,
so I was like, "Oh!"
Yeah, the scales on his back, the fins, whatever you want to call them, start lighting up blue, and you're like, "Oh, thank you." And
what I've been waiting for.
He just lets loose on this big gorilla thing. And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It doesn't kill it.
Burns its friggin' face.
So that's how what's his name escapes that scene.
Right.
Yeah. So the mother is down. The female's down. So Godzilla turns his attention to the male now. And this man, this little flying piece of crap is he's in for it, man. Godzilla's like, this dude comes around, hits Godzilla with his, because these things have like these weird spike arms.
Yeah.
And
Starship Troopers, that those arms and those things, it's just like that.
Pretty much. So they're like stabbing the crap out of Godzilla for a long time in this movie. And he like comes around, he stabs Godzilla, he's like knocking him around. And Godzilla's like, you know what? I'm tired of you. So he waits for this dude to fly towards him. He just lines up, gets that tail swing in, and just rams this piece of crap right into the side of a building.
No.
And it's dead.
No. Like, their eyes light up like this orange color. It's like the lights go out.
Yeah. But unfortunately, this big ass building also falls on Godzilla's head.
It does.
And he's like, oh crap. This is going to put me out for at least 2 minutes.
But
It's gonna put me out till it's convenient.
Yeah.
But, you know, Godzilla, because must have amazing eyesight too, he sees Ford and is like, you burn those eggs? Thanks.
Yeah.
And then disappears into the fog.
Like fucking Batman. He's just like, thanks for the assist, bro.
So I was like, fuck you, movie. Like, what the fuck?
I don't think he pulled back so much as he was engulfed by the smoke from the collapsing.
I know, but like,
Yeah, but I get it.
weird
It
shot.
was,
Might as well.
But
But yeah, so Ford's like, fuck it, I gotta get this nuke out of here. He gets it down to the boat. And again, I said, like, why are we still using a computer-operated boat for this fucking thing? We know what's happening, but
was he going to use a paddle boat?
if you fucking have to, something.
I'm pretty sure
I bet if you put sail power, you'd go real quick. With all the wind and shit they're generating with this fight.
Yeah, then you gotta, like, know how to pull the rig up and everything. And
yeah,
like,
he needs Maui to help him wayfind.
Well, his option, he gets about 2 feet away when suddenly, boo, everything goes dark again. And big old mama's coming through and she's like, fuck you.
Like, your ass.
Yeah.
Done burn my boobies off. I can't.
I was just looking for a snack and I found this motherfucker that was rummaging through my kitchen before and set my babies on fire. Dude,
But-
you are in for it.
I will give the, because at first I was like, how the fuck did she realize that the fucking boat's lights came on? Then I'm thinking about it now. They know they can sense the nukes.
Yeah,
So
yeah. She was following that.
That's my
following
guess,
nukes.
yeah.
I'm like, all right, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Because at this point, hopefully they were the only people left in the city, like on the streets still, which isn't very realistic, I don't think. But you
Probably
know,
not, but. Well,
it makes sense. I mean, I'm sure people would try and get off the streets, but
They're dead.
yeah, I
Yeah,
was just
yeah.
going to say, there are probably only live people left
Yeah,
on the
that's true.
streets, so yeah.
So she's headed towards this boat, and the rest of his team is there, and they're trying to stop her. So they're firing at her. She just eats the whole chunk of the pier that they're on,
Whole thing. One gulp.
and he's like on the boat. The nuke's on the boat, so he does all he
Pulls his
can.
pistol out.
He's like, good thing I stayed back to blow the babies up.
Yeah, but Mama's like, oh, you're in for it now, and starts coming in for that chomp when all of a sudden, a little tap on her shoulder.
Go Godzilla!
It's Godzilla. I'm like, hey, you thought I was out? I'm not out. And like, yeah, just
He was like, so
bites the
I
neck.
heard you came to fuck, right? Let's make out.
Your name's Buck, right?
I think he just went, don't worry, I'll feed you, baby bird.
Yo.
Grabs her mouth open, charges that fire blast, and right down her throat.
Oh man.
Like, blows the body off.
Yeah, he doesn't even blow her head off. He blows her body off.
Yeah.
Like legit.
Yeah, he's still holding
So
the head
bad.
by the jaw. And, like,
And he just roars and like throws the head like it's a piece of garbage.
yeah. Fuck you.
And then he and Ford both collapse as Ford's boat like makes its way. It's like on autopilot.
off,
So once the Mutos are dead, like the EMP wears off, I guess. Which I don't know how that works, but
Yeah.
but the boat starts going off
Yeah, I
into
doubt that would
the
have functioned like this, but whatever.
into the water.
Yeah. And her helicopter comes. It grabs Ford, saves him, gets him out just in time because the nuke goes off, which
Which they'd be dead.
yeah, they're totally. This did not go well for any of them.
Yeah.
I mean, they were a fair distance away, I guess. I don't know. I have no concept of how that works. Like I don't know
just how far
minimum
away
safe
they are,
distance and all that.
Yeah.
But it's a movie. I guess I can suspend my. It's a movie about giant monsters fighting each other. I can
That's fine.
suspend my
That's fine.
disbelief
That's
enough,
fair.
I guess.
But yeah, so he gets back to some stadium where they're housing all the people that are looking for shelter. He's forced to deal with his kid again. She seems real unhappy about, and he just keeps
seem
scanning the room for his wife. Huh?
He doesn't seem unhappy about it.
Well, the kid does he happy about it? The kid's
Indifferent.
Well, the
Kid's
kid
like-
is blank faced,
Yeah, the
and
kid
the
is-
dad is just looking for his wife.
The
Like
kid has no emotions whatsoever.
it's I guess it's not so much like I don't want to be with my kid. It's more like I need somebody. I need her to be here. I need her to be here. And like the kid would be like, Daddy, like not now. I gotta find your mom. Like, want to maybe pay attention to him. He's just been through some real traumatic shit. You have too, but anyway.
So anyway, they reconnect. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
It saves the wife. She's there too.
But it shows Ken Watanabe like coming up over this pile of rubble, looking at Godzilla's corpse, and all of a sudden
he snorts.
Godzilla gets up. He's like, "I cannot sleep with all you assholes making all this noise."
I wish Ken had booped his snoot.
Do you?
Kinda.
Do you?
Doop. But yeah, he wakes up. He gets up. And I like, again, the news in the stadium. Everyone's cheering like, yay, Godzilla's still alive. And I was so waiting for him to just step through the fucking stadium on his way out into the ocean. Like, you might not want to be so happy yet, guys. Like,
shows big old turd on the
or that.
Shows a chef from Golden Corral with a big carving knife in his hand go, "Aw." And then, like,
dead river lizard, food for days.
Yeah, Godzilla just gets up and totally fat kid belly flops into the water. Like, I can't.
The mom shows up at some point.
Yeah, we said that.
Yeah, they reconnect. It does not matter. And then Godzilla swims out a little bit and just disappears into the water.
And to the credits.
And then credits.
And that's Godzilla from 2014. Alright, so on RottenTomatoes.com, critics gave this a score of 74%. Audience gave this a score of 66%.
74 for real?
That's 74 for real. So, that's their thoughts and opinions on it. You don't seem to agree, Brian, so what are your thoughts and opinions / recommendations?
Like, I will go with the viewer's score a little bit better. Like, this is a D+ maybe for me. Like, because what I wanted, I didn't get a lot of. So the lead characters in this movie don't have personalities, don't have any. They're not actual characters. They're just like placeholders kind of for stuff to happen to. And I don't like that shit. Like, I would be okay with that if I got more fights and shit. I'd be okay with it. But since they chose to make half the movie about them, fuck that. So I would only watch this again, fast forward to the halfway mark, in the background while I'm doing other things. Or cause I would just go on YouTube and watch the fights.
Okay.
So, I can't fully recommend it. I can't, sorry. But the fights are kind of cool when they actually happen. So watch it on YouTube. I would recommend instead, Pacific Rim. Not because it's a better movie, but because like it gives you just what you want. Like you just want to see monsters and robots fight, and that's what you get. So I would say watch that.
Okay. Rob.
So I actually, and you know what? Maybe I'm being more lenient because I did recently attempt to watch the 1998 Godzilla.
Why?
It was the Riff Tracks version.
Okay.
And I still didn't make it all the way through. Like, I needed a break. This movie is too long, but at the same time, it's paced in a way that it doesn't feel as long as it is. This movie has way too little Godzilla, but it saves the Godzilla for the end where you're like, oh, hey, Godzilla's fighting. And so you like kind of forgive a little bit of the previous thing. This movie has way too much bland white milquetoast humans. And there's no forgiveness for that. It's just there. I enjoy this movie personally. However, I'm not going to recommend it because it's just not enough. It's just not enough of a Godzilla movie, and it's not the Godzilla movie I really want. And I'm hoping that this new, like, kaiju franchise that Universal is doing kind of, resolves that with the next movie or movies. So I am optimistic about the future of this franchise, but I don't think this really is going to hold up in comparison to even those in the future, for what, if that makes any sense. But I will actually echo Brian's recommendation of Pacific Rim. It is a dirt stupid movie, and I hated it the first time I saw it. But it is just what you want. It's a bunch of monsters fighting a bunch of robots. It's a straight up Independence Day ripoff, but it gets the job done.
Just what you want.
And so that's where I stand on Godzilla 2014.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna echo a lot of the same stuff with because you brought up before the whole thing of if they had a lot of fighting in it, it would get dull pretty quickly, which I agree with. But that's why I'm thinking like the first time Godzilla showed up, let's have a fight and then be done with this because we don't need to be 2 hours and 3 minutes, like an hour and a half tops. That's all we needed out of this. And you could have, had a fight in there with the guy, and then the guy gets away and meets up with the lady one, and then there's another big fight at the end with the two of them, and kept it interesting and fun, and still had all your cool action stuff, and then that's it. We don't need all this other stuff. We don't need 5 different attempts to get a nuke into the city that don't work. All right?
Mm-hmm. Totally agree.
Yeah. So, again, the same thing with I don't like these things of, here's just a bland person so you can put yourself in that scenario, because there's not much to that person, but we're spending way too much time on them and not enough time on Godzilla, not enough time to make them a character. I don't really end up caring about either at that point. So, I just wanted to see Godzilla doing cool Godzilla stuff, and we don't get nearly enough of that. It is decent enough as a movie. It's well made. It's fairly well paced, and besides some stupidness and some of the annoyances of cutting away to the from fights, it is decent. So maybe a one and done, or if you want to, see all of the kaiju verse or whatever we're calling this, sure. But otherwise, it's pretty skippable. I kind of feel like this is the Incredible Hulk to the Marvel verse, where everyone kind of forgets that it's even part of it. And it doesn't really matter, and no one really cares.
Yeah, I mean, when the next Godzilla movie comes out, you're not gonna need to, who Godzilla is.
Exactly.
You get it.
And Kong Skull Island, much better place to start. So,
yeah, I enjoy this version of Godzilla, the monster.
Yeah.
Right.
I enjoyed, for the most, I enjoyed the Mutos. Like, I think the design is cool, the idea is cool.
Oh yeah. I
like that they went for Godzilla fighting other monsters than just straight up Godzilla fighting the military.
Right.
But all the stuff around it, was just too much padding for a movie that didn't need it.
Yeah, even when this came out, I remember saying to people, like, this is enough where I'm excited to see where this universe of movies will go, but it's not the best on its own. It's alright, but not that great. So, light recommend, but you could probably skip. I'm not 100% comfortable with Pacific Rim because I have some serious problems with that. As much as I like Del Toro and everything, but
fine, whatever.
But still, no, that's fine. We got the 2 out of the 3, so Pacific Rim.
I think there have been movies we recommended before until we actually watched the movies, so we did not recommend them. Yeah, that might be it. That might be it.
That's at least one. But yeah, Pacific Rim, we'll put that on the list for now. We'll say that's our recommendation for this week. All right, what else do we have for the people, Brian?
It's time to make that roll, see what we watch next.
Roll with it. And
we're going to have Tony start this off.
Do it.
It's a 15.
15 is, oh man. 2012's Men in Black 3.
Okay.
Wow, I don't think I've seen that one.
It's the one with Jermaine in it.
And Thanos.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I saw 1 and 2. I don't think
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, we'll save it for then. But, all right.
I think I was like, nope. And I didn't see it.
I don't blame you. But that's more after. We'll get there. We'll talk about it then.
Not wrong.
But,
yeah.
What was it?
Almost. The one before was way better.
What was that?
Huh? I don't remember what
the list. Some of the movies on the list, like
Do it up.
RoboCop 2,
God damn.
Tremors 2. I mean, that'd be for William. Jurassic Park, Mighty Ducks. What was that?
Young Guns too.
Young Guns. Rush Hour. Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker.
Oh my
All
goodness.
right,
But yeah, anyway.
let's not worry about that. We got Men in Black 3 coming up for our next week's episode. What else we got for the people, Rob?
Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard, please consider subscribing. We do an episode every week. For our episode archive, merch store, and more information, check out our website at 4ampodcast.podbean.com. And, of course, you can contact us by following us on Twitter or Facebook at 4ampodcast or email us at the4ampodcast@gmail.com.
All right, so thank you all for joining us for Godzilla. We hope you join with us next week for Men in Black 3. But until then,
Deuces.
Jaga, Jaga, something Japanese.
good night, everybody.